You just can't. You got to have a good. Yeah. Let's check that out, bro. Let's check that out. Spiritual pride, man. But you can have that. You can be skilled in the word of righteousness. You can have a keen ear to the Spirit. You can have explosive, expressive visitations. You can have levitations in the room. You can have out-of-body experiences. You can have a high time in the Lord and still have no gravity when it comes to, you know what gravity means, right? You're not level-headed. You know, there has to be a foundation of balance. And our former allegiance and our former alliance to the soul, because you got to understand, before we met Christ, our soul was in control. Our soul was in control. And I've done so many teachings on this, but it's very imperative. If you're going to grow in the things of God, it's not just for you to accumulate spiritual wealth and to be able to sort through those things. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all look at it real funny. That's why he said in Psalms 131, go ahead real quick. I love those high times, and I love those moments when the anointing is thick and the presence of God is heavy. Amen. I love it when I see angels. You know, I love to come into the visions of God, like Paul said. Those are great things. Those are great things. And that, they don't happen all the time. And if they do, your third eye is open. There's a third eye. Y'all don't know nothing about that. There's a third eye. You ever seen the eye of Horus? You ever see those little crosses with the little round thing on? That's connected to the third eye. It's the Egyptian gods, the Ankh. The eye of Horus. That's the god of divination. You can see it all on. It's the new fad now. Everybody want to wear them. Have them on the ear. Have them on the necklace. Those are portals. Okay, Psalms, we're going there. Psalms 131. Oh, are we there? Dang. The Lord what? Lord?
Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty. Neither do I exercise myself in great matters.
See, he's talking about his soul. He said, I don't want to be haughty or lofty. I don't want my understanding to be overly fixated. Neither do I exercise myself where?
Great matters.
Or in things what? Boy, this sounds like Paul. He said, I learned to be content in whatever state. He said, I'm not going to try to go into the deep things of God. I'm just going to allow my soul, because verse 2.
Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child.
Weaned of his mother. Boy, I can toss this around. He said, I have quieted myself. Not the pastor, not an altar call. I have taken personal responsibility that my eyes won't be lofty or my heart is haughty. I choose to wean my soul as a weaned child. In other words, I choose to no longer be immature as it relates to the things of God. I won't act in my immaturity. I'm going to wean myself from my mother's breast, basically, one translation. Weaned of his mother. And we can go on many levels with this, because we can also talk about the church, the mother of the church, and that if we're going to start growing in the things of God, we got to wean ourselves from her. Amen. That's why it says, please God to reveal his son in me. That you read that in Galatians 1:15 and 16, it talks about who from the mother's womb. He was sanctified from the mother's womb. So we can say that my soul is being weaned. So my mind, my will, and emotions must be weaned from natural sources, even my own intellect and wisdom. Said things that are too high for me. So my own intellect, my own reasoning, my own logic can interfere with my growth. That's why our soul has to be restored. It loves walking and operating in independence. That was the problem in the garden. An independent soul. Has God said? God told him don't. He did. And that is, I'm telling you, rebellion and all the other things, those negative forces. I'm not going to give you a didactic on wrong behavior. I'm going to mention some of them, but I want to try to encourage you, because that's what it's all about. You need to be restored in your soul. I told you, when Jesus died, buried, and resurrected for 2,000 years, he's been addressing the church in the soul realm. Yeah, we've had gifts that keep us entertained, and we've had gifts to give. Amen. He's given us little trinkets and toys and, different things going on. We've been the Reformation, and five-fold ministry came on the scene, and you found out that the body is gifted and anointed. And we're called to be kings and priests, but we can't bypass the foundation. The foundation is that we need to be changed and transformed from the inside out. It's imperative. We're waiting on him to come. See, we got to really think theologically. Now, we can't think physically. Amen? And we can't think on religious terms. If we understand that he's coming for us, he's not going to come for us until he comes through us. The apocalypse, we just did it a couple weeks ago, and we're doing the teaching on the new creation, man. The apocalypse is basically the release of who you really are. I mean, who you are called to be. That's what it is. It's to move the veil out of the way. Remove the limitations out of the way. And the reason why is because there's something hidden beyond the veil. Something that's been deposited in us. And that veil is our mind, our will, and emotions. That's why it says when they turn to the Lord, the veil is done away with. You ever read it over there in 2 Corinthians, I think it is 3? It said when they turn to the Lord, the veil is done away with. It says when they read the book of Moses, there's a veil on their mind. When we read the Bible, there's a veil on our mind. Tonight, there's a veil on your mind. The veil had to be done away with. That's why he gave us so many types and shadows. When Jesus was slain, they took him to a place, a hill called Golgotha. Am I right? And it said the place of the skull. Right? Then when he was giving up the ghost, he said, into thy hand I commit my spirit. When he did that, the temple was torn. The veil was torn. What? Top to bottom. Those are prophetic pictures. It's important. Not only that, the rocks were split. What did it preach? In the resurrection, it said the rocks. People got out of the grave and the rocks split. You got to understand, he wants to come through us. And he's going to come through people that understand that their soul must be renovated. And I'm not talking about putting it in rehab. I'm talking about a total makeover. Did the teacher called extreme makeover? We need an extreme makeover in the house of God. If we're not careful, we'll use our colloquialisms, we'll use our vernacular and our vocabulary and our cute slang words, and we'll hide behind it, and then the word will never do its perfect work in us. We'll always be lacking in our faith because we have no foundation, we have no roots. I was reading a friend of mine, Apostle Rogers, and he was putting on there, he was talking about how we got all these babies in the house of God, just babies. We got babies that are anointed, babies that got ministries, babies that travel, babies that is mainstream. Just babies. And haven't matured in the things of God because we're lacking something. And he put on there regeneration. I almost wanted to fall off my bed when I got up this morning. That's the buzzword. That's the key word. That is the word that you don't hear about. The regeneration is the most important element of our faith. You can quote scripture, we go from faith to faith, from glory to glory, from strength to strength, all you want to. You quote it. It sounds good on paper. But it has to become a reality. A living reality. Amen? And it only comes alive if it's written in the tablets of your heart. It's not just in your mouth, it's in your heart. All right. The restitution of our souls will determine the quality of our lives. The quality of your life is, trust me, speaking in tongues, as great as it is, and the gifts of the Spirit, that's great. That's not the true essence of your life. Your life will be reflected through your soul. Your mind, that's the person who you really are. Behind the scenes, when the lights come off. When you're quiet in the house by yourself. Nobody there but you. It's not the one you have to put on for everybody else to receive you. There's no false facades to try to make other people convinced. It's not going to happen. So even as David knew, New Testament believer need to understand that we must go through a sozo movement. You ever heard of that term? Yes. You ever did a study on salvation? That word comes up. It's a verb. The other word that's akin to it, close to it, is soteria. S-O-T-E-I. I mean, S-O-T-E-R-I-A. That's all the Q stuff we see. You know, soteria is where you see the demonstration of healing. You know, those are the great things. But then the majority of the gospel is on sozo. 110 times out of twice double soteria, which actually is the noun word that we use for salvation. But the action word sozo is the process of soteria. And it means to be made whole. You ever heard that before in the Gospels? If we're not careful, we just get healed. We don't need healing. We need to be made whole. Every whit whole. So that we don't have to come back to the altar. So we don't have to repeat old cycles. We can be made whole. Where our past is done away with. Amen? That's the day I long for. Where there's no semblance at all. No